About 12 years ago, I had crazily prepared myself for the entrepreneurial world, and the best way I did that was to read every book that came my way. I can't remember anyone who read as much as I did, from The Rich Dad, Poor Dad to The Richest Man in the Babylon and hundreds of other great books. That exercise was very helpful, mainly because I got to understand what it means to build a company and the mindset to get started. Later in my entrepreneurial journey, people like Seth Godin, Kern and others became my favorite teachers. But I won't go into that in this video. In this video, I'll be sharing with you the single most important thing that will help you to actually build a successful business. If you're new here, consider subscribing so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Now, let's get into it. While preparing for my entrepreneurial life, I read the story of Robert Kiyosaki and how his rich dad asked him to work for free. And the lesson here is simple. The most important skill for an entrepreneur is your ability and willingness to work for free. Most people don't understand this, and that probably is the biggest reason why most people fail in the business world. Business versus job. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, there were different experiments led by psychologist Walter Mischel, then a professor at Stanford University. In these studies, a child was offered a choice between one small reward provided immediately or two small rewards if they waited for a short period, approximately 15 minutes, during which the tester left the room and then returned. The reward was sometimes a marshmallow, but often a cookie or a pretzel. In follow-up studies, the researchers found that children who were able to wait longer for the preferred rewards tended to have better life outcomes as measured by SAT scores, educational attainment, body mass index, and other life measures. This is exactly how job and business is different. As an employee, if I employ you today, you start getting paid in the next 1 week or month. As an entrepreneur, however, I waited 8 good years before I started making money from my business. That's tough, and that's hell. But that's the only way to make a lot of money. If you truly want to be an entrepreneur, you must be willing to work for free. You must be willing to start a business, run a business, and make no money for a long period. To even make the case worse, when you start making money, you still have to continue reinvesting such money for many months before you can buy your dreamed Ferrari. But don't be afraid. It's not as tough as you think, and it's much more rewarding. It's about the mindset. Nothing in life is difficult. Our mindset makes them so. Take for instance, if you were born into slavery, at a point you'll be brainwashed that every other free humans are better than you, and immediately when you accept this as a truth, you will experience peace because you'll be contented with your conditions. The reason why most people cannot be entrepreneurs is not because entrepreneurship is hard. It's because the society conditioned most of us to be employees. The problem about this is that employees and entrepreneurs are living in entirely different worlds, and you cannot cross from one of those worlds to another without a visa and documents. The number one of those documents is your mindset about the reward system. If you want your marshmallow now, you get one of it. If you are willing to be patient and have it later, you have much more. If you want the reward for your labor now, you'll get it by getting a job. But if you want really massive rewards, you have to build a business and wait till your business grows. If you can do this, your business will end up giving you more money than you can ever spend. What if you have bills? One of the complaints of most people is, I have bills and financial responsibilities. I need money now, so I can't wait with a business that will not give me money until next year. That seems logical until we investigate the life of these people. When I study most employees, what I find out is that though they have bills, they also don't know how money works because most times these people spend faster than they earn. Everyone needs a home to live, but they want to live in the most comfortable homes. Everyone needs a phone, but they want the latest iPhones. Everyone needs to move from A to B, but they want the latest Benz. Now you see where the problem is. If you truly want to be an entrepreneur, even if you are an employee right now, you still have to work for free. While you get your paychecks from where you're working, you don't have the right to buy anything except you truly need it. You don't have to compare yourself with your colleagues at work and try to buy everything they buy. You have to save up as much as you can and then live like a slave for a couple of years. The fear of living like a slave. Most people live their lives in fear of failure, and that's why they eventually fail. Most people live their lives in fear of poverty, and that's why they end up being poor. If you are afraid of being a slave, then you may end up being a slave for 35 years in another man's job. Here's the thing. Working hard and saving a reasonable percentage of your earning will make you live like a slave for a time because you won't be able to buy what everyone around you is buying. But that your little saving, coupled with business skills and determination, can help you to start a business as a side hustle. If you continue learning and you discipline yourself to never buy any flashy toy, one day you may fire your boss and be a full-time entrepreneur. If you remain focused, you'll one day find yourself making more money than you ever need. Yes, it's tough, and that's fine. Most people will hear this and think, but that's a long journey and it will be tough. Yes, it's a long journey and it's tough. But again, there's no two ways to become a general other than to fight and risk your life. If you want to be a civilian, ease and peace is yours. If, however, you want to be a general, war and struggles is yours, then victories and crown. Stop seeing today. Most people are myopic. They only see today. I beg you to see tomorrow. See tomorrow where you have the freedom to do what you truly love, with whomever you love, wherever you like, because you don't need a paycheck. If you can see that tomorrow, then you know why you must pay the price today by working for free. Now let me leave you with the wise words of Viktor Frankl in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. When you know your why, you can endure anyhow. If you know the reason why you have to work for free to build a business that gives you money and freedom, you'll figure out how to do it. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We would like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Now look at your screen to see 2 other videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.